Hello veterans, my name is Travis Studdard, a veterans disability attorney. Today I want to bring you some recent news about Agent Orange and other herbicides and its effect on certain veterans. If you are a veteran or have a loved one who's a veteran who has bladder cancer or hypothyroidism and they were exposed to Agent Orange, whether in Vietnam, Korea, Thailand, on a C-123 aircraft crew, this is something that you need to learn about and figure out if it applies to you and watch for more updates. So back in 1991, Congress passed the Agent Orange Act of 1991, which commissioned the VA to study the effects of Agent Orange and similar herbicides on veterans who had been exposed through the course of their military service. And the VA, through the Academy of Sciences Institute of Medicine, has been studying that and publishing reports every 2 years since then on their findings. And recently, I believe it was March 10th, 2016, they released their 10th and final study, which addressed a number of things, but today I want to talk to you again about bladder cancer and hypothyroidism. So, in the past, bladder cancer has been listed as having inadequate or insufficient evidence showing a link between the development of that disease and exposure to an herbicide with dioxin such as Agent Orange. Well, based on another study that's been done and looking at those results, it's been upgraded from that classification of inadequate or insufficient evidence to limited or suggestive evidence of a link between the disease and the chemical exposure. So again, limited or suggestive evidence. Now that's not quite where we need it to be. It needs to rise to the sufficient evidence category to get further treatment under the law. Now with hypothyroidism, really the same thing. It was listed before as inadequate or insufficient evidence. That's been upgraded based on these most recent findings to limited or suggestive evidence of a link between hypothyroidism and Agent Orange and similar herbicide exposures. So, getting back to what I was saying a minute ago, what does that mean in terms of your VA claim? Well, right now, bladder cancer and hypothyroidism are not on the list of presumptive diseases for Agent Orange and other herbicides. Now, we've seen in our office a number of veterans who suffer from particularly bladder cancer in our cases, and it seems just too coincidental for these Vietnam vets to have that condition. So we've always suspected that, and this sort of confirms our suspicions, but until there's further research done that upgrades it to that sufficient evidence showing a link between the disease and exposure, VA is probably not going to add it to the presumptive list of diseases. Now, that said, there's still some things that you can do and keep in mind. First, you can still prove this without the presumption. You can get medical evidence showing your bladder cancer, your hypothyroidism was caused, more likely than not, through your military service and exposure to the chemicals. And again, you'll need a doctor's statement showing that. Now, you may say, well, if it's not on the presumptive list, why would I even apply at this point? Again, if you're familiar with Agent Orange and how the history of that has been treated by VA, if you'll recall, veterans who had been denied before their disease was on the presumptive list, and then once those diseases were added, VA had to go back and redecide all of those claims. And many times the veterans were given an effective date back to the date of their original application for benefits, which is important because that means with that effective date from going so far back means they got paid back benefits for that whole period of time. So even if you applied now and didn't win, didn't have sufficient medical evidence, didn't have a doctor that would affirmatively link it, you may get denied, it may sit there for years, and the research may get done, and then VA has to go back and re-adjudicate your claim at that point, and so at some point down the road, you may get a payment of back benefits. So again, be on the lookout. You can find the press release from VA on this on our website. We have a blog on it. Just keep all of this in mind and keep looking for updates, and hopefully at some point these will get added to the presumptive list so veterans don't need direct medical evidence. If you have questions about any of your Agent Orange or other herbicide questions or claims, you can contact us on our website. You can find out more information and get a consultation with us. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and check out some of our other videos we have available for your viewing. Thanks for watching today.